hello everybody, good evening. So, my name is Eva, and some of you know that I'm a storytelling coach. I work with people who want to tell their life story. Maybe they want to write a memoir, maybe they want to create audio art. And a few years ago, I picked up a client, and she was working on a chapter for a book about divorce. She was an older Indian woman, kind of spunky. She said things like shit and fuck. And I found her really, really charming. And we had a great time. And after a few sessions, she said to me, Eva, you have to meet my son. And he's got a lot of really great stories to tell. So a few weeks later, I opened my laptop because this is COVID and I'm doing sessions online. And I see my client sitting in her chair, and then sitting slightly on a smaller chair right next to her is her son, the 20-something son, Karan. And we spent 90 minutes talking about all of his adventures, and Karan loves nature. And he does all kinds of, like, he goes out into the bush, he goes diving, he's in South Africa. And we come up with like a rough structure of what we're gonna write. We decide that Karan will write the stories of his adventure, and then his mom is going to come in and do some of the philosophical reflections. So they go away and they write their story, their essay, and they submit it to me, and I do my editing work. But for whatever reason, nothing happens. It remains a draft. And for days and weeks and months and years pass, and I have completely forgotten this draft. Until a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, I was in Chengdu, and I was at a cafe called Bryce, and I was eating masala dosa. And if you know your dosas, Bryce is the place to go, and I'm South Indian, so I have the right to say. So I'm eating my masala dosa, and I get a message from my client, Kamini, and I start to listen to the voice note, and she says to me, Eva, I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to say it to you. We lost Karan on October 15th, like literally a few weeks ago. And I just was like, what? 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 Like, what? Because this guy was young and charming and eloquent and full of this desire for adventure. So I pulled up this essay, and I found it on my phone. I went to my Google Documents, and in the middle of this cafe, I start reading his essay again. And I'm smiling and I'm also crying at the same time. And now the essay is like taking on a whole new life. All the words that he put down are just, they're hitting me in a very different way. They're profound. So I finish reading it, and I send my client a message, and I say, I'm so sorry for your loss. I hope you don't mind, but I wanted to share this essay that the two of you worked on together. And she writes back to me, and she says, you know, it's funny that you mentioned it because my daughter her daughter sent her a message that morning asking her, oh mom, I remember you and Karan worked on an essay. Can you send it over? So now this essay that was a draft, that nothing really happened to it, has taken on a whole new life in his death. And it's really, like, it stayed with me. And part of the reason I wanted to share that with all of you today is because in the last couple of days, I was at the Ubud Writers Festival, as I'm sure a lot of you were. And being at the Ubud Writers Festival, there's this like dual feeling. On one hand, you're so happy and inspired and motivated, but then on the other hand, you're like, oh shit, I don't have a Netflix deal, Galen. I don't have a book deal. I'm not selling to thousands of people. I'm not even selling to one person. Forget that. I don't even have a book out there. Right? There's a feeling that you have, a residual sense as a writer, as an artist, that I haven't made it, it doesn't count. But the reason I tell this story is first to honor the memory of Karan Saini today with all of you, and secondly to remind us to reorient and ground towards the internal commission that we have to give birth to something. You know, all of us here are writers, artists, and thank you, Kamal, for holding the space. And we come here every month to do that, to create something. And we divorce ourselves from the result. And the truth is, like Karan, none of us know like the true impact. We'll never, ever know the true impact of what we are doing and what we are creating. I'm pretty sure he felt disappointed with the fact that that essay never turned into anything. But now it's a beacon. It's a North Star for me, and I hope it is for you. My name is Eva. Thank you for listening.
Let's give another round of applause.